Hello my friends, for today's beer review, we're going to be taking a look at Founders Brewery Backwoods Bastard, an ale aged in oak bourbon barrels. This should be really special. This is Backwoods Bastard by Founders Brewery. Now, this is a beer that has been absolutely just recommended, suggested, and hyped up to me to absolutely no end. Naturally, I've been extremely excited to try it. I didn't actually get a chance to try it last year, and that sucked. I've been waiting a year to get this, and I finally was able to get it. Now, there's a little short but interesting story that goes along with this beer for me. I went to Dallas. I had to travel 2 hours away to get this beer, and whenever I went into the first of two liquor stores that I normally visit, I said, "Hey, where's you guys' Backwoods Bastard?" And the lady's like, I think we're all out. And she checks, she's like, "Yeah, we're all out." I'm like, "Okay, well, when are you going to get more in?" She's like, "Well, that's it." And I'm like, "But it's a November seasonal." She's like, "We only get one shipment." And I was like, "Wow, okay." So I go to the second brewery, or second beer store. Get to the second one, the guy goes, "I'm not sure, man. I don't see any on the shelf." And I'm like, "God dang it. I'm not going to get to try this beer again for another year." He goes, "Let me check in the back real quick." So he walks into the back. He comes back holding a 4-pack, and he tells me, "This is literally the last 4-pack in the entire store. You're lucky." And I was like, "Oh, am I?" So I'm going to review this one for you guys. I got my other 3 set back in the cellar, and they're going to sit there for a while, probably till next year. But I don't know. We'll see. Information about this beer: it says it's an ale aged in oak bourbon barrels. The commercial description online says to expect notes of single malt Scotch, caramel, sweet, warm oakiness and roastiness, and it just sounds amazing. I've heard there's a lot of coconut in this beer, strangely enough, but a lot of friends have been hyping this up to me to no end. Comes in at 10.2% alcohol by volume, so this is a monster. I'm going to be feeling it strongly after just one bottle, and it comes in at 50 IBUs, so not too bitter. It's a nice, sweet, smooth beer, most likely. So, that's enough talking about it. I'm going to be drinking it out of my Duvel glass today. Best glass for assessing special beers, and that's the one I like to use at least. It is straight out of the fridge. It's not quite probably 42 because it hasn't been in there that long, but it's definitely what I would call quite chilled. It may need to warm up, it may not. I didn't really notice a temperature suggestion on it. But without further ado, let's get the cap off of it, give it a pour, a smell, and a taste, and let's see if it was worth all the trouble to me, huh? Alright, the cap's off, straight into the glass. The color, nice. It is a super dark mahogany, kind of caramel brown. I'm going to pour this vigorously down the center here. Doing so got me a nice finger of bright, almost yellowish tan colored head. Up in the light, it is ridiculously dark ruby and mahogany. I mean, that is just awesome looking. It looks like a potion or something sitting in the glass. On appearance, it would definitely get a 10. That just looks fantastic as far as just looking at it goes. Let's give it a smell. Nice. I'm getting a lot of malt. Good amount of warm, sweet alcohol. Bourbon. I'm not quite sure if I would call it to the level of single malt Scotch, at least in the aroma. Strictly because I'm also a single malt Scotch guy and I know what it smells like. And now, of course, none of them are going to have the same smells, but this is more like a blended kind of bourbon style smell to it. Little notes of like licorice, maybe even some tobacco in there. That's fantastic. The more I sit here, the more the smells kind of open up as it breathes in the glass. I can tell it's going to be one of those very complex beers. A lot more alcohol showing up as it warms up. So just from that alone, I'm probably going to let it warm up and do a second part to the review. But just to reiterate, for now at least, tons of sweet, warm bourbon malts, a little bit of licorice, caramel, tobacco. The warm alcohol is what really stands through in this beer. So I can't wait to give it a taste, so let's get on with it. That's fantastic. Wow. Tons of malt. Wow. It's bold and powerful, yet, at least in its current temperature, it's not super duper complex. It's got lots of sweet malt and lots of warming whiskey. And I can see where they can get off calling this Scotch whiskey now. It's just got all the traits of oakiness, woodiness, good amount of warm, almost burning alcohol as it goes down. A little bit of licorice. That is really good. I do want to let this warm up though, and just see if it changes in its development any. As it stands right now, it's damn good. But let's see what happens if it warms up a little bit. Be right back. Alright, we are back. Once again, this has been sitting for just about a good 10, maybe 15 minutes or so now. And it is just slightly chilled. As far as the smell goes, it's amazing. A lot more warm notes are coming through now, like a lot more vanilla bourbon, brown sugar. That licorice has started to turn into almost like a date and raisin smell. Lots of alcoholic raisins, very dark, dark fruits. Ah, that smells so good. Let's give it a taste now and see how it's developed. Oh, that is good. Tons of whiskey and bourbon and scotch in this brew. Sweet, plum, raisin, date, possibly even black grape, but all very like pruned and alcoholic and cooked down and reduced. Almost like reserves, or preserves, not reserves, almost like fruit preserves. That fades into your malty, slight touch of chocolate. No coffee at all. And without a doubt, single malt, warm scotch, caramel, vanilla, bourbon, brown sugar. That's delicious. Very, very warming. This is like the ultimate wintertime sipping beer for sure. I don't want to see it go. As far as the review goes, 10. Perfect beer. I could drink on this all day for the rest of my life. If somebody said, Colton, you're not allowed to drink any beer anymore except for this, I mean, I'd be unhappy because I wouldn't get to try anything else, but I wouldn't be hateful either. I'd be like, well, at least I got stuck with something really good. We're still only about midway through November. You really should consider searching this out. Just give a call to all your local liquor stores and see if any of them have it and get them to hold you 1 or 2 4-packs of it. The stuff obviously goes fast. People want it for good reason, too. I almost didn't get my hands on it, but I'm really glad I was able to. But yes, you need to go out and get it if any of those flavors sound enticing to you at all, because it is that good. Anyway, that has been my review of Founders Backwoods Bastard, their November seasonal. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. As always, stay tuned for the next one.